My name is Mordred Viking, and I'd like to welcome you to this stream of Hearts of Iron 4. This is World Ablaze, and apparently there have been quite a few changes since the last time we visited this, so I'm going to need to do a lot of remembering how exactly this game works. But from what I've been told, the tank designer has now been implemented, so we can now play around with the tanks, which kind of makes me want to play Italy again, because I want to see if I can do better than the Italian tanks, which I probably can. And then also the UK has had their focus tree redone. I don't think we've actually played as the Allies in this game ever, so I'm willing to give that a go. Dominic Imo, thank you very much for the 19-month primary sub. Very much appreciate that as well. Thank you. World Ablaze, is this a mod? This is a mod. So a lot of people have been asking what this is. And the way that I would describe it is, if you remember Black Ice, which is that stupendously in-depth mod which basically adds about 1 billion different equipment types, 1 billion different mechanics, 1 billion different like automated templates, 1 billion historical divisions and that type of thing. It was a bit much. Like, I really liked Black Ice for Hoi 3, but I think that Hoi 4 they've just taken it too far. It's not fun anymore, it's just complicated for complication's sake. Well, World Ablaze kind of sits in the middle. So you've got Vanilla on one side, you've got Black Ice on the other, and then World Ablaze is here in the middle. So it's got new equipment types, it's got new division types and that type of thing. It's got adapted and changed technologies and focuses, but it doesn't go completely left field. What the hell are you doing? Stop. Like Black Ice does. Although the United Kingdom emerged victorious from the Great War, the foundation of the Great Empire was shaken to its core. A generation of country's finest were lost in the This is so small on my laptop. Were lost in the trenches of Flanders and northern France, while unrest spread through the Commonwealth and massive debts accrued. With the trauma of the last war in fresh memory, the country now faces the prospect of another. It is becoming increasingly clear that there will be no peace for their time. For our time, even. So we have British Stoicism, surrender limit increased by 10, division attack and defense on core territory, ideology drift defense, and we can create factions. The war to end all wars reduces our recruitable population factor by 25%. Consumer goods factories is increased by 10. Military factory output... Civilian factory output is decreased by 15. And then military factory construction speed reduced by 20. So we're going to have a hard time re-establishing ourselves. However, King George V does provide us with 15% extra stability, which is good. How is it in Sweden? Things are good so far. Like, I've only been here, this is my third week. So the first week was basically me just exploring the area and getting used to living in Sweden. Then the second week was my first week at Paradox. That was basically dominated by the run-up to the release of Overlord and also just general onboarding stuff, like meeting all the people, getting access to all the various accounts, so many accounts, sorting out my laptop, making sure my other laptop, I have 2 of them now, just to make things complicated, to make sure that all the work apps and things like that were installed and I had access to everything I needed to have access to. And then this last week, which was the second week of work, had to deal with the data analysis from the release of Overlord, plus working on the communications for the hotfix coming out, plus so many things, I'm forgetting them now. Plus working on the publisher weekend, which is this weekend. So hey, if you're missing any Paradox games, now's your chance. Like, they're all discounted pretty much on Steam, so go take a look. And then also the free weekend for Stellaris, because Stellaris is currently free to play. So if you have never played Stellaris and you want to give it a go, then this is going to be your opportunity. Swedish speaking stream when? Jag talar inte svenska, jag talar engelska. There you go, that's my Swedish stream. Plus partying around Stockholm, don't forget that. I mean, that came into the general exploring Stockholm, which I still feel like I've done not nearly enough of. Because I'm so used to working remotely, I'm so used to working kind of on my own schedule, that having to deal with a 9 to 5 with all the other stuff going on, it's really mentally draining. So generally during the week I just kind of go home and just go poof, and then I'm out. Which is why the weekends I'm a little bit more lively. This is the first return to Hearts of Iron, yes. Okay, so here we go. Playing as the Select the country. And scroll, let's deal with that. Cool. And I should also mention I am on a laptop, so things are probably going to run slower than they usually do. FYI. It also means I'm lacking an SSD, so things will load slower than they usually do. But the plan right now, so at the moment, for those of you who don't know, I'm currently in a hotel in Stockholm, will be until July. So the 1st of July is my move-in date for the main apartment. And then at that point I can have my entire setup. I'm going to have all of my other stuff like my desktop and the green screen and all that other good bits shipped out. So I did manage to sneak one of my monitors into my bag on the way over. So I currently have my tiny little laptop screen, then my big monitor, which has chat and the preview and everything on it. If I could switch the two, I would, but the laptop obviously has a keyboard attached. I don't have a spare keyboard with me. Will you get an apartment tour? That's it. What do you mean the new one? Including, of course, Jeff. Right there. Hello, Jeff. Like, this really is basically my apartment. You're missing about 2 meters back here, which is the kitchen. Like, this thing is 17 meters squared. It is very, very small. Glad you're trying out the UK focus tree. You'll be paying attention to feedback you have. Yeah, cool. And also, hey, Wutillo. Does Sweden have a focus tree in this mod to be a fitting country to play? If so, don't know. We'll need to take a look at that. So I think I vaguely remember this stuff. We'll see if that's true. Sweden, do you have a focus tree? Sweden does not have a focus tree, no. This looks to be the vanilla one. Alright, first of all, let's get rid of the tutorials, because I ain't gonna need you, hopefully. Then again, I haven't played this since, like, March? April? No, February. I haven't played this since, like, February.
Ready.
Okay, those are all gone. Let's take a look at the English focus tree. This looks suspiciously vanilla. Do I have a video tutorial on the Navy? I'm so lost. Yes. Just go to my YouTube channel and search for Navy. Or go to my YouTube channel and look for most popular videos, because it's #1 most popular. For some reason, quite a few people seem to need that tutorial. Revisit colonial policy. That's all the same. Reinforce the empire. This looks very vanilla. Focus may change with choices, okay. Steady as she goes, changing course. I'm going steady as she goes. This has changed. Ah, yes, going all the way to 1949. I really, really want them to do that in vanilla. Just make technologies take longer. Go into further, sorry, not take longer. And we've got all the different tank types. Which is going to be interesting to see how the tank types now work with the tank designer. Hi Mordred, how are you liking Sweden so far? I'm really liking it. Like I said previously, I need more time to explore more. Because I've generally just had like the first week I was here, at which point I was a complete newbie and didn't know how anything worked. And then during the 2 weeks I've been working Paradox stuff, been bloody exhausted at the end of the day. Like there's a Thai food vendor, I want to say, on the way back to my apartment. Still haven't had a chance to try that, and I want to. And also, it's mocking me. So the area I'm living, again, repeating for those of you who hadn't heard this before, I live kind of in the middle of nowhere. There are no bars, no restaurants, nothing like that around where I live. It's a very, very residential area. Except right opposite is a pizza place. I love pizza. That would be ordinarily very tempting, but it's the lowest rated pizza place in Stockholm, and I don't know if I dare try it. I will at some point. I'm actually think I'll do it today, because I don't really care if I lose a day or two tomorrow. So I'm going to risk it. I'm going to see if it's any good. Because it kind of looks a little bit like they got review bombed for some reason. So I'm going to try it. Lowest rated Swedish pizza place, double the danger. May the gods be with you. Yeah. Stockholm is among Sweden's worst pizzas to begin with. I mean, I have actually had a Swedish pizza already. It wasn't bad. It was like kebabs on a pizza. It's good. I had that once or twice in England. It wasn't any different. The only thing that I've heard about Swedish pizzas, pizza places are a bit stingy with their cheese. Have I tried the famous banana curry pizza? I haven't, and I want to. Now, when it comes to pizza, I'm not a scaredy cat. I will try anything on it. Except, you know, food poisoning. I prefer that not to be on my pizzas, thanks. Right, okay, so I need to remember a few things about how this works. One, doctrines are now tied to experience because of the Officer Corps, which means there's no doctrine stuff to be trained here. However, we do have 6 research slots to go. We should probably get the industrial stuff at the very least going, so we'll go for you. I probably won't need those. We'll go for basic industry. And I'm not going to go for that because that would be going ahead of time. There are also a couple of these I want to go for, so I'd like to refit my ships for anti-submarine warfare, so we'll go ahead and grab you. And... oops. Maybe the catapult? Aircraft is ahead of time, except for the strap bomber, but I'm not that bothered by the strap bomber. Naval stuff. We've got all of the 1936 Navy. In fact, the 37s aren't even available. Because we need basic fire control and improved airplane catapults. Which I guess are in here. So that's the aeroplane.
Huzzah!
We need these. These have already been done, which means we can get the best possible tanks. We could get the 1936 cruisers, which I think we probably should. Support companies, with the exception of signals, are up to date. And then we're lacking the 5cm mortar, so we'll go ahead and grab you. So what was the other thing I was missing on the ships? Sonar. I'm working on the sonar. Oh, there are frigates and destroyers. Light cruisers, heavy cruisers, battleships. Carriers, light carriers, submarines and cruiser subs. Cool. Sounds good. Okay, next up, let's do the focus. So here I kind of want to get some of the industrial bits going again. So this will reduce my economic issues down to straining economy, which sounds like it might be a good idea. Reinforcing the Empire gets me stability and will lead to rearmament, which I'm not that concerned with. And then steady as she goes is weekly stability, which is always nice, and daily democracy support, which will give us more benefits, although that might be something to do when George dies. Not saying that he dies, of course, like spoilers, I'm sorry. You can strap random guns onto the Matildas. Ooh, nice. Did they change the research trees? Yeah, Taranthil, this is a mod. Don't forget it goes down naturally while you're on civilian economy. Oh, does it? Okay, I'll take your word for that. Has this bit changed? That's the economic fatigue. State-sponsored economy. Well, that's a good point. I need to double check to see what speed everything else goes at, but I'm going to go ahead and grab you. Let's read you out as well. While most of our economy lies in shambles, our housing market is doing relatively well, with new houses being built at a rapid rate. Giving private companies control over the market will allow them to continue their housing boom and inject some life back into our economy. That's something that modern England could learn from. And then in terms of constructions, this will use iron and steel. Ah, right, there's iron and also steel. So at the moment we're lacking rubber, we're massively lacking bauxite and iron. So we could probably do with buying those in, or building infrastructure where there is iron. What are the different icons? That's bauxite, so the red one is iron, orangey red. Here, iron, iron, iron. Here, iron, iron, iron. Okay, we have no iron. What about the colonies? Ah, top bar resources. I was wondering if I needed to install that mod, and apparently, no, I don't. British Overseas Territories, there we go, they've got iron. One factory for 142. I'll go on then, if you insist. And Malaya could get me bauxite, quite a lot of it. Do I care about bauxite now? No, I don't think I do. Because bauxite doesn't affect my industries. And I do have a lot of steel, so I think maybe building some of these, although we are on civilian industry. Let me just see how construction stuff works. Civilian economy. Civilian to military conversion, that's not it. Output, no. Construction speed. So civilian construction speed is actually boosted, which is the opposite to vanilla. I actually kind of prefer that. Oh, but civilian economy will reduce the speed of building infrastructure. Oh no, it won't. That's the fuel capacity. White stuff is steel, not iron. Wait, really? Oh, you're right. Well, that's still just one factory for all of that I'm going to need. Okay, do I have the white one here? I was going to say, I'm fairly sure that Britain is a producer of iron. It is. Okay, so in the short term I probably want to be importing iron from the minions and then slowly pulling myself off of it. No, while I'm on civilian economy we're going to go ahead and just build these factories. That should be enough to keep us going for a bit. Dockyards. Come back to all of that. So it's a bit dark. Can I change that? Yes. Does that affect your output? No. Just what I'm seeing. Oh my gosh, that's so much clearer on the preview. Yeah, it's just the laptop screen being very dark. My gosh, England, how many ships do you have under construction? Thankfully just one of every class, right? Let's minimize these. And then sort them by when they'll actually be launched. February 36, July 36, March, August, January, February. And the reason I'm spending my time doing this is because I want these ships to be built as quickly as possible, because then they add their shipyards to the other construction projects and it just kind of snowballs. Let's just get these out. And of course the higher they are up in the list. Oh, that's a 38. That's the 36. Well, there's a whole bunch of ships due for the 14th of April. Wow, there's a million of these. And the faster I get my shipyards back again, the faster I can rebuild some of these things. July, 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 July. I'm kind of getting to the point where I should probably just move these back. May. June. Okay, that is nicely organised, and then we're going to go ahead and expand them again. Fully historical playthrough. Yep, that's the plan. Although, do I want to turn on vanilla focuses? I'm just going to back out and check that, because I'm not sure. Fairly sure they are, because I usually leave that default, but we can have a look. What way are we planning to go with the UK? All the way. Highly recommend building refineries and infrastructure. Okay, good to know. I mean, I am definitely an infrastructure aficionado. Have I tried the Millennium Dawn mod? Yeah, didn't like it. Uncharted. And everybody else, of course. Hello, hello, hello. Singling out a few people and leaving out the majority. I'm sorry about that. Hello, everyone. Hope you're having a great Saturday so far. Have I seen the US factory count? No, but considering this is a World War II game, I can kind of guess. My guess is... just doing a couple of mental calculations here. My guess is... more than Tanutuva. Historical was on. Good. loaded from here. Damn it. Saw the button too late. Way too far ahead of time there, Fenrak. No idea. Let me, get beyond 1936 first. Haven't even unpaused the game yet. Have you had any thoughts about what to do with Germany? Well, my current thoughts of what to do with Germany is, leave them be. They don't seem to be doing anything. The entire world seems to be at this strange standstill. It is most unnatural. How dare you! Tanutuva is known for its industrial prowess. Yeah, that's true. Tanutuva is probably an unfair comparison, so probably a little bit closer to US industrial strength. Bhutan, maybe. Fairly sure that the US maybe have a little bit more than Bhutan.